Well, how's it going, motherfuckers? So I kind of got this idea as I was doing the DuckTales video of just talking about CGI. Let's just straight up talk about CGI already. I really haven't made a video about this, but I talked about this time and time again about how, not that I never want to see CGI in movies before I even get started. Not that I don't want to see CGI, not that I hate CGI, not that I don't enjoy parts of CGI that were in Jurassic Park and Star Wars and all these great fucking movies that utilized it to the best of the filmmakers' ability. The thing is, haphazard usage of CGI. CGI could be a very, very evil thing. CGI could be a terrible fucking thing that could ruin fucking movies, that just destroys fucking movies, that destroys TV shows and cartoons. So, you look at the current landscape of cartoons, and, if you turn on any cartoons, chances are it's fucking CGI. It's CGI. That's just how it is. Sonic Boom came out. I was a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog my whole entire fucking life. The Sat AM one is probably my favorite of all the Sonics. I mean, even with Sonic X, that was done on the computer. That's something that I also said bugs me, that nothing is ever hand-drawn. I love the fact that people actually sat down at a fucking desk with pieces of paper and a fucking pencil and just pretty much drew every single fucking scene just like that. Pencil and paper. I love when something's man-made. It just, you watch it and you appreciate it so much more. Now, I know you gotta be equally as talented to be able to do the same on, on the computer screen, being a graphic designer, but there's shortcuts, like coloring something in, for example. You could just fill in the spaces. So there's just way more to love about hand-drawn cartoons. And that's also why, I'm happy that DuckTales, they're at least giving it that appearance. That's what I'm saying, at least, even though nothing's hand-drawn anymore, it gives the appearance of that. That's the thing, why computers could be a fucking evil thing. They're a great thing, they're a great convenience, but they've also ruined a lot of things that we've loved when you really think about it, It really has. It's the same thing like digital music completely destroying the market for, physical copies of music, playing CDs. Remember how much, enjoyment you got of actually putting, a CD into your CD player or your stereo, and you just kind of really appreciate just having that one disc. Now you just have, every fucking thing, so it's kind of hard to even appreciate the individuality of, an album or something. But we'll talk about CGI. So they've used CGI on everything now. I mean, you look at the Transformers movies, and it's just a fucking abomination already. They use CGI for every single fucking thing. Like I'm saying, Michael Bay uses it just to make an explosion. Then you think about Die Hard, how they actually made a real fucking explosion and filmed that. And how you appreciate the fact that, they fucking did a whole dangerous, controlled but still dangerous explosion. That they actually fucking detonated something to fucking get an explosion so they could capture on film. I mean, that's dedication. When you make an explosion on the computer and just kind of splice it into the fucking movie, then it doesn't really have the same effect. Especially if you know it. I know suspension of disbelief, but how awesome is it when you actually know that it is practical effects being used within the fucking movie? It just makes the movie so much better. So one of the biggest culprits of CGI, where we really got to see a lot of that, there's a couple of things. I loved CGI when it was super young. I loved special effects, when it was very, very young, like the original RoboCop movie. That right there, you got to appreciate the fact that they did the stop motion imagery, that they used models. That was fucking wonderful. People will say it's cheesy and corny, and that's why I lose my mind any time I hear anybody say that the RoboCop remake was better. You're out of your fucking mind. It's all part of the charm. So Jurassic Park used special effects the Star Wars movies used special effects, but they were more practical effects mixed in there. Just what couldn't be accomplished by hand had to be done, using computers and programs. But one of the biggest culprits of CGI, CGI in the whole movie, was Toy Story, which was 1995, and that movie's a classic, without a doubt. I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like, holy fuck. No one had ever seen anything like that before. There had been things that we had seen previously that had been released, like with small dosage of CGI leading up to that. But this is the first time we actually saw something that was like 90 minutes of fucking just marvelous, lush-looking computer imagery that couldn't be accomplished by hand. And, the argument here was that it was, it was bolder looking, it was three-dimensional, it was something that people could grab onto. It was a movie that felt more tangible. It felt like, well, it was something that I liked, but, I was way too young to really know what the impact of this film was going to have on all of Hollywood. Sure enough, following Toy Story, Disney was very, very, sparingly making hand-drawn films. They had a couple, what was it, the Frog Princess and stuff that, had that, animated look still, but the CGI was taken over. And sure enough, with Finding Nemo and all these other fucking movies that came out, Up and all that, they're great fucking movies. But there are way more CGI fucking films than there are. The hand-drawn is completely gone. Now, it's kind of disappointing is all I'm saying. Is that, you don't get hand-drawn anymore. In movies, you don't get real explosions. Because why? Because it's way more convenient and it's cheaper to make CGI. Even though I don't understand how some of these movies are fucking hundreds of millions of dollars to make. You're still paying these people salaries, but the thing is, they're just making this shit. They're not even really doing it. You would think that the materials would cost more, but no. It's just fucking CGI the whole way through, and it really is ruining movies. It really is for me. That's the whole thing of, like, when you've got a big director like Michael Bay just pumping out these fucking explosions like they're fucking nothing, and you really just wish that there was more of that. And it was like the same thing in Jurassic World. Love that movie, but they did really kind of tone down the animatronics, which is another thing we have to talk about. Animatronics, puppetry. That was amazing stuff to see. Like with Yoda in Star Wars, just, having him as a puppet, having people operate him. Same thing with the Ninja Turtles. I talked about the Ninja Turtles. If you want to hear me talk a little bit more about that, check out the DuckTales video. And how much I love the fact that it was hand-drawn and everything. But how about the movie, the 1990 movie? The fact that those are just fucking rubber suits from Jim Henson's shop. And they just made those suits move so realistically with some great animatronics in the face. That's the kind of shit that I miss. That's why I'll never be able to really fully embrace CGI, give CGI a big hug and a big kiss and say I love it. Because I wish that we could just get a good mixture, animatronics, animation, and the CGI. When all other opportunities fail and every other strategy, if something's impossible to show on the screen without the aid of CGI, that's when I think it should be called in. I don't think as a shortcut or, just a way of getting out of something to do it cheaply. Alright guys, that's my opinions on CGI. It doesn't completely suck, but it sorta does. Alright motherfuckers, until next time.